welcome to Who Put This On, Season 8, Episode 4, where we watch Extreme Love, Season 1, Episode 1. And as long as Kyle is around, no one's Nana is safe. I'm Chris Lorenz.
A 91-year-old with a whip. It brings new meaning to 50 Shades of Grey. This is Brian.
I was kind of disappointed with New Terry. This is Noah Singer.
Those are all quotes from this week's show. But last week we watched We Are Family. We had a poll on X, formerly known as Twitter, and you guys voted it a tie, a top, middle, and bottom third tie. I think this is the first time we've had that. So tell us what you thought about this show on X, also known as Twitter. Next. But Noah, what is that show?
Based on the popular digital series of the same name, Extreme Love focuses on all manners of wild and unique instances of love. Such tales of vampires, sister wives, polyamorous couples, sugar babies, and adult babies, unique fantasies, and many other unique relationships. These unique relationships prove that there is someone out there for everyone. Shocking and outrageous, these are love stories with a twist. That is Extreme Love, available primarily on Hulu these days.
It's some sort of Wii TV situation. That's like the original producer, I guess, of this. And we had a latecomer. Is Katie here or no? I don't hear Katie. So,
man, we just have a live lurker.
Live lurker. All right, we got an audience member.
Yeah. It's
anyway, so this show is like a show about weird couples, and if that sounds good to you, I think you'd like this show. If that sounds like why would I want to watch weird couples, then this show is definitely not for you.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, I started watching this and I was like, this feels so familiar. And now that I read the show description, I did used to watch clips of this on Facebook. Like, they had I think a pretty well followed Facebook page, especially when Facebook was like really into video content. And now it all makes sense. Like, it is entertaining, I think, in like a 3 to 4 minute bit. 40-minute show, you know, it's a bit.
You know, I was like, let's talk about it. So let's talk about our first person, I guess, / couple, which is Kyle. He's from Pittsburgh, and he's into old women. And we're not talking like, he's 20 and he's dating 30-year-old. No, he's like 30, and his current girlfriend is 91 years old.
Yeah.
And that's like insane. And you're just flabbergasted every time you're watching this. And like the show,
this was like the least of all the things that we saw this episode. This was maybe like on the lower end. I don't know. I feel like I've like heard this like before.
I don't know. Sorry. I disagree. I think that this was no good. Like, she's 91, her son is 71, and her grandson is 50. He's 31. He literally is a great-great-grandson. And they would like lean into this, like showing them making out multiple times. The same scene multiple times. And I'm like, ugh. I'm just getting this like, ugh. And that's what what they wanted, I think.
A little bit. I think where this like really goes into the extreme for me is just how sexual they are and how much they are willing to show to other people.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, I don't know how sexual they normally are, but for this show, they're very sexual. They're very much like, yeah, we tie him up. They're making out in public. They're talking about just like all this sexual stuff. And you're just like, and I'm just cringing because I'm like, I don't need to think about this. Yeah. That's where my head is at during the show.
But I think they do like the showcase justice, right? Because like if they didn't go to the depth of the relationship, you'd be like, okay, like I guess there's nothing sexual to it. It's just like something weird. but I think it's good to to be like, no, they are actively sexual and exploring their sexuality.
The one, the thing I love about the show, I'm gonna get it out right now, is that they like follow these people for more than just like 2 or 3 days. Like you kind of get a sense of this girlfriend, you get a sense of a side piece, and at like the end you get like a better sense of like you get like another follow up. Like you find out that this woman passed away at 93 and like whose next relationship is. Like I do appreciate that it's like you get a whole glimpse of this guy's life and not just like a slice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I do. You mentioned this, but like I like the chirons in this. Like Kyle's epithet is Granny Lover, and then like Anna, his side chick, is literally called Kyle's side chick.
Oh,
I
that was
did like
so
that.
good.
The only thing I wrote in my notes, well, not the only thing. One of the things I wrote in my notes was he must like gummers. And if you need to look that up, I'm not going to tell you what that means.
It
But
was Gummers.
yeah, gummers.
I'm assuming that's uh the mouth on the thing with no teeth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, only a woman of a certain age can give you a gummer.
I never heard that term. Gummer.
I have no idea where I heard that term from. And yeah, so
I don't know. Like the first thing that goes in my mind is like a Gushers brand extension into gum. It's like their juicy fruit competitor.
yeah,
Gummers.
well, there's a reason why they don't use the term. They haven't used that because it's already been taken.
Clearly not.
But it did seem like everyone knew what they were getting out of this relationship. Kyle was coming in. We're just gonna bang for a bit until like I'm bored of it or you're bored of it or whatever. And like I see no problem with that. That's fine.
No, it's awesome.
Yep, I'm all in for these consensual relationships for the most part, and all these were consensual. Like it didn't seem like there was anything too terrible, minus one couple.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I know we're going to talk about that, but for this one, I don't see anything wrong with this. It's just weird, like to go and like introduce like your piece to like family at that point. It's like no, you kind of just like we're having fun. You don't need to meet the mom, or or like the great grandkid. Like you just don't need that.
Yeah, it was interesting too because then, man, what was the granny's name again?
Marjorie or something, I think.
Yeah, because she shows Kyle's mom then like when she was 30, and I guess she did some like porn photos. It wasn't clear like if these were like commercial porn photos or for her own use, but it's even like there's a part of the show where they do this several times. They push what a normal people would do anyway with these extreme love situations, and they really make them confront the social awkwardness of it, which I'm still mixed on if I like that part of this show.
I think
Yeah,
if you're gonna
go
show
ahead.
somebody's mom that there's your own like homemade stuff, that's where it crosses the line for me. It's fine like making your own stuff and like that, but like on your first meeting, this is how you introduce. No.
Well, Katie was doing some internet cornering. Or not Katie. Christina was doing some internet cornering, and she found out that apparently there was some sort of court case with Major Marjorie McCool. She was tried and found guilty of selling obscene materials in 1989.
Good
She had to go to
cornering. Wow.
she had to go to prison for 3 months.
Oh shit. Damn.
Wait, like just like generally like selling that stuff or like of like a really bad nature.
The presence of obscene materials depicting homosexual activity he was purchased from her.
Oh, so this is probably like some really outdated law or something.
Totally.
I mean, it's 1989.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never
I
mind.
mean, no, but it could
Homosexual
still be like I wouldn't be
activity.
surprised. Some of these laws are still in the book in some states, but they're probably rarely enforced, right? Like,
The activity was entitled "California Hot Dog in the Gardener."
What?
yeah.
The, put some creativity into the name for fuck's sake.
That's a great name.
No, it's
California
how does it make any sense? California hot dog in the gardener. Like
There's a comma there. California hot dog, comma in the gardener. I don't know.
So
that doesn't clear up anything.
So
when
there's a
I
hot dog, and he's in the gardener.
No, I mean I get like the general thing, but there's like you know how like porn movies like will like they even with like the parody stuff like it'll be kind of funny and this doesn't make any like this just is a it
Brian, you don't
works
get
out
it.
what it is.
There's a guy, and he's hot. He's like a hot dog, and then there's a hot gardener, and the hot dog is in the hot gardener.
No, I get
Do you
it.
get, do you get it?
so what's great? I googled this California hot dog in the gardener, like word for word. And there's a lot of good hot dogs you can go get in Los Angeles. That's what I found.
I'm really disappointed you didn't find the actual content.
No,
I'm sure if he looked hard enough.
I'm sure if I modified the query a bit, but I'm gonna just leave it as is.
Yeah, I feel like they were stretching a little bit to make this like extreme, like more extreme, with like
Yeah.
meeting the mom and the son and like the friends talking about it. Like normally, I'm sure this dude seems quite normal and doesn't take his 91-year-old like who knows how many times he's like met with this 91-year-old person.
Interesting.
Um,
Huh.
but she seemed pretty spry. So
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta give it to her, right? Like, she's keeping up with him. Like she seems great.
Yeah, if only we could have gotten her on the Golden Bachelor.
And
oh yeah. All right, let's talk about our next couple, I guess. I guess we didn't really talk about the side chick, but it doesn't really matter. We've
No.
got Dave, and he's from Nova Scotia, and he has 3 love dolls.
Love dolls, not sex dolls.
Love dolls. Well, he calls them love dolls, but we all know what they're for.
Yeah.
He's also very explicit about what they're for too.
Yes.
That's for sure. This one, they also stretch the extremeness. Like at the end of the episode, he goes to get physical therapy for exercises to carry around his love dolls and takes a love doll with him to like get some like real life hands on moving this love doll at physical therapy, which, that normally probably something he wouldn't have done if he wasn't on this show.
I hope not, because that's weird. Like, just a grown man bringing around an inanimate object of any kind, like a stuffed animal, even if it has nothing to do with any sexual thing. Like, it's just like, come on, man, what's up?
There was also the section where he took they got a sex doll for his wife, and they took the sex doll to the store to buy clothes, and it's like, no, don't do that. No one's doing that.
Yeah,
They
and
also
this
got
one,
her son.
yeah, they got the son involved. Oh, just so weird. Like, this is like the multiple layers of weirdness that like, okay, sex doll, weird-ish. Multiple sex dolls, weirder. Multiple sex dolls, weirder. Getting your son's advice on your sex dolls, uncalled for. Like, what are you doing? What are they doing?
That's a good question. Again, I think it's the show just like taking it to the next level. Like you got a 5-minute segment on Facebook, that can be one level. But you got a 40-minute television show, it's got to be the next level. And that includes like getting the wife a sex doll and then taking the sex doll to the store, and not like a normal store. Like they don't go to like Macy's. They go to some like tchotchke store in Nova Scotia to like buy like Nova Scotia shirts. Like,
Yeah.
like this isn't even a store you would go to buy anything. Like they might be at a gas station for all we know.
I feel like that would have been better. There would be
I
some
mean, they
great
might
shirts
be.
there.
They might have been. I don't know. Like what? Like a tchotchke store attached to a gas station makes perfect sense to me.
It does.
It is kind of interesting that like the wife gets the sex doll and names it Terry.
Yes.
And they apparently got one before, but it weighed like 110 pounds. So
Mhm.
they had to get rid of the sex doll. They sold the sex doll. I don't know who's buying secondary sex dolls, but
Nope.
apparently there's a market for that. So
I don't
then
see
they
why
buy.
not. Like, if you get a good deal, you clean it out. What's the difference? Right?
I think there's a big mental block for me with a used sex doll.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, from a purely like, to me, it'd be like buying like used clothing. Like, whatever. It's
No,
clothing.
I'm not. I don't think so. There's no ejaculation into those clothing. You
We're
know,
also not usually buying used underwear. Like that tends to be an always new situation.
Yeah, no, the underwear definitely different. Like, but I
look,
feel like the sex doll again.
I,
I've never held a sex doll, but they look like it's like very easy to clean, rubbery material. So I'm like, yeah, you just like kind of like super clean that. I don't know. I feel like you get
I
that
don't
really
know.
sterile.
I'm pretty sure this is one of those things like a car. Once it leaves the lot, it loses all its value. So if you really want one, I'm sure you can get one used real cheap.
Man, brings a new term to a lemon party.
Yeah, yeah, you can get in this.
that's pretty good.
Let's get the wife on the horn here. Let's see what her thoughts are.
Oh, man. Yeah. Would you guys ever consider buying a Terry or a woman Terry? I don't know what their names were.
It's a love doll, okay?
Yes. Love dolls.
No, I don't think I need a full doll. Like that's just too much. I don't. It's too creepy.
Yeah, that's a little much. And then also, I don't want to have to move that shit around. There's so many problems with it that yeah.
What about like? Have you guys seen the show Dave?
Yes,
You know how he has just the legs.
potentially. I would be more into the legs than like a whole doll.
Just the legs. Oh man, that'd be a good name for a store. Just the legs.
And that's just all pants or all sex pants.
Yeah, I mean, this couple like seems pretty like she seems pretty cool to just let this guy have these sex dolls around. But there's also like a bunch of dogs around. Apparently, it's a trade off. Like you can have the dogs, but I get to have the sex dolls.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean,
There's also
it's not a bunch of dogs. It's 10 dogs, which is
It's a bunch of dogs. It's a bunch.
yeah.
I feel like I don't know. To me, if you said a bunch, I wouldn't be able to really understand. Like 10 dogs, nuts.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really know how many dogs there were, but yeah,
Yeah.
10 is a lot.
That's a lot. Like those dogs are running that. Like how do you even feed 10 dogs? Like they're fighting over food, potty breaks. Like I don't know. It's a lot, man.
It's your
It's a lot.
life.
Yeah, man. I
That's
feel
why
like
he needs the sex dolls.
Yeah, I'd have Terry take care of them.
Okay, there's also another aspect to the Terry situation. And that makes me think that she's not okay with the whole sex doll situation. She named Terry after like a previous lover.
Yeah.
No, it was. She said it wasn't a previous lover, just
Yeah.
a previous crush.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was never intimate with human Terry.
Yeah, but that still is like, okay, there's a personal connection here between
I agree with
this
you,
doll.
Brian, that this seems like you're crossing a line here by like, it seems like she's getting this sex doll for spite. Like almost is like, oh, you get sex dolls? Well, I'm gonna get a sex doll.
Also,
whereas, like, she
that
doesn't
defeats the whole agreement
really
of the
want
dogs.
You know, there's a secondary agreement now after how many years together? I don't know. Maybe it's for the show. Maybe the show paid for the doll. This doll, at least. Which they got a new doll, which was lighter. and is called Terry 2, and looks too young for. I didn't write down her name. So that's why they went shopping to get some older looking clothes, I guess, which didn't
Mhm.
really help at all.
Shauna has standards.
Who has standards?
I thought it was
Shauna.
Shauna.
Shauna? Okay.
Shauna.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
didn't write it down.
Yeah, Dave's wife.
Yeah, so their storyline is like to get this new sex doll, and then Dave has, which we talked about, and then Dave has carpal tunnel. He said, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he goes to physical therapy with his sex doll at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wheels her around in a wheelchair. So
It's weird that they have a wheelchair.
yeah.
it makes a little more sense, but yeah, that whole therapy thing was totally weird to me, and it feels like it's made up now that you mentioned it before. Because
I don't think it's. I like legit believe they did it. It's just like they did it for the show. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like he explicitly dropped like what he was doing, and she laughed about it, and then goes into like talking about like, oh, do you ever feel pain in the groin or anything like that? No, you don't need to go into all that.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. Then there's also like the end scene, the end like credits or whatever, says that he
Mhm.
needs a new hip apparently. So he was in legit pain. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no doubt he like needed something, but he did get they did enjoy a night of passion with the new doll, and then he needed the hip replacement, and now
yeah,
Terry
there
is
was that one.
taking
It
care
was
of
that
Shauna.
one night. It was that one night.
Damn, that's some serious sex.
Yeah, serious threesome. They kept saying threesome, which in my head, the only way a threesome's going to happen with this male sex doll and another guy is like, some DP. Like, what else are you going to do?
The
Like, you
male?
can't,
I
you
mean,
can't Eiffel Tower. Like, are you going to Eiffel Tower here? How's that going to work?
why not? I think you can. Nah, I think you can do more than you're thinking.
All right.
I think you can pull it off.
We need some sketches so we can link them in the description. If you could
Well,
give some,
I mean, obviously they can't stand on their own, but like you can lean things against each other, and who knows? Maybe Dave, wants like Terry to, go inside his body. We don't know this.
It's true. You don't know. We don't know. It could
Yeah.
be, could be MMF, All right. We got to move on. Let's talk about the most troublesome people, Monica and Sid. So
Yeah,
they're in
no,
Fort
no
Worth,
good, no
and
good, no good.
Sid is into fat girls, as they said on the show, and Monica, I don't know, weighs like 700 pounds at the beginning of this episode, and wants to. Her goal is to become immobile. So Sid enables this by feeding her like garbage, like literal, like the worst things you could eat. And he said that in his mind, he doesn't think it's a problem, but everyone else, I'm sure everyone on this podcast knows that this is a huge problem. Do not
Yes.
enable somebody to kill themselves like this.
Yeah,
It's no
terrible.
good. And like for the first like 3/4 of the show, like they keep going down this path of like, oh, this is her real goal. And then 3/4 down the episode, we find out she's pregnant, and then she's on a diet, and then she's lost 100 pounds. And then in the last like thing, they've had the baby, and she's lost 200 pounds, which is like
Mhm.
great for her. But like the beginning of the show is like, oh, I can't watch this. I can't see this person eat like this.
Yeah, it's like, and when they start to say they think they're pregnant, I'm just like, I don't like this. Like, this is not okay. This is not cool. Like, you're actively trying to kill yourself, and you're having a
Well,
baby.
the pregnancy aside, like definitely no good. Like I don't want to watch people kill themselves, and getting being at 700 pounds is definitely in that. Like they show her eating with a funnel, like a funnel. Like it's,
That
and they show her like with a tape measure. Like it's just like, ugh. I didn't need to see any of this.
the funnel just took me back to college days of beer bongs.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's
that was
fun.
bad.
This does not take me to that. This
Yeah.
took me to this person is in real trouble.
Oh yeah, it is problematic to just like be like, all right, baby, ready for the funnel, and then here's this giant Pop Tart milkshake.
They were also in. They seem to be in some sort of proto OnlyFans where they were getting money for like hot shots of her, which that was also a storyline in this episode.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
There was concern whether Sid would find her attractive if she like lost 200 pounds, and like she's still gonna be fat at 500 pounds. Like that's not gonna be a problem. I don't think,
No. It's
and it wasn't.
yeah. I mean, she's definitely on the right track. I hope she's doing well now because this was from 2018. But yeah, like I still can't get the idea of like funneling this like milkshake. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, I think according to this Distractify article, the original segment I think is from 2016, and then the update to 200 pounds is 2018.
Okay,
She lost 200 pounds.
that makes
And they
sense.
had to
Yeah,
get-
yeah. You're totally right.
And she had weight loss surgery apparently, or she.
Oh, she did. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I mean, I hope the baby's okay. Well, I mean, it's like a kid now, you know. But yeah, like it's just so big. I'm surprised she was like walking around. You know, like I thought she'd be so big she wasn't able to do that.
There are two people in this episode I was surprised that were as nimble as they were. One was 91 and one was 700 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's just, yeah, go ahead.
do you think what's wrong with her boyfriend? I forgot the guy's name, but there's something up with
Sid.
him. Like Sid, yeah.
Sid. I mean, in his mind, he's not doing anything wrong, but like in general, he is actively killing his girlfriend by like allowing her to just feed like that. Like she can't go out and get food. So if Sid didn't go out and get the food that she wanted, then like she wouldn't be 700 pounds.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just like actively like what is it called?
He's enabling.
Enabling, yeah. Enabling this like behavior that's like is not good.
Totally. And he's like
That's right.
feeding her, you know, like a bowl of what was it like fettuccine Alfredo?
Yeah, like not a bowl, like a serving bowl full. And he had a
bucket.
much smaller portion, so like
Yeah.
clearly he knows what a good portion should be.
Right. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's just all bad. It's just all bad.
Yeah, and as for questions, who's the worst human being? That would be Sid. Sid, you are the worst human being. I'm sorry, but you are.
Yeah. I think he does win this one, you know, and it's unclear like how much of this, you know, is it like really just his like kink and he can't get around that? Like he's just so blind, you know, to the bigger picture. It's unclear.
I don't think so. Because
Really?
clearly, when she decided she wanted to lose weight, it happened.
Yeah, but they also stood around, right? You know, so it's not like he left her, which is good.
No, but
Well,
I mean,
they had a baby.
I think a lot of people can recognize. Well, I guess there is sex addicts. Yeah, maybe they just didn't realize it. Still doesn't make you the worst. It still doesn't clear you for being the worst human being for this episode.
For sure.
Agree. Yeah.
There's no host for this episode.
There's
Would
a
this show
voice.
be Would the show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok?
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I mean, it started as a Quibi basically on Facebook.
Oh, it did.
Um, yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you're like at the beginning of the pod, um, like this all seemed very familiar to me, and yeah, this came from like a Facebook like video series, and then they turned it into a TV show.
Yeah, I definitely could be a Quibi, but it would be one couple probably at a Quibi level.
Yeah,
Um,
I
yeah,
definitely enjoyed it better as like short form. I think it's a little bit easier to watch.
and like I feel like again as TikTok is like a slice of life that you can watch 60 seconds at a time. Like that's what this show is. Like if you liked these people, you could just like this would be a TikTok of watching them of them living their lives, you know?
Yeah,
If you liked Kyle and wanted to see who he was dating this week or next week or whatever, like you follow TikTok. That's
right.
what I feel like is like what TikTok really shines with.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
I have a counterpoint
Yeah.
to this. I do think that they crammed a lot in this episode. I never really felt that like it stopped or anything like that. It was just like it, everything felt it felt like it just kept moving.
Yeah.
So I don't know like if it would like yeah, I could probably cut out like some of it that I don't want to watch, but at the same time I don't think that this was bad.
Yeah.
I
It's
think as a Quibi, it'd be a little more focused. Like I felt like I agree with you, it was moving a lot, but it was like repeating sometimes and a little unfocused. And you could really streamline it down to like have a nice storyline for 8, 9 minutes. That'd be great.
yeah.
I'm
It's
not saying it's necessarily better than this because I agree with you, it's moving. But at the end of the day, I do think that there's a format in Quibi and there's a format on TikTok that equals this show. But obviously, like you wouldn't have a TikTok that would be like, let me show you 3 extreme couples. Like that would be
right.
silly.
So the Facebook page seems to still exist. It's interesting. I think they changed the name of it to Love Don't Judge. Like I'm assuming we bought Extreme Love, and I'm going back and it's like kind of looking at it. But it seems very similar. You know, it's like just these extreme love situations. Like it seems cut from the same cloth. And most videos, they are like 7 minutes long. So it's like you're getting like that's like a decently long video, especially to succeed on Facebook, right? Like you're just scrolling and you're gonna watch that and see how much content they put out. They've optimized it, so there is a like that's like the story there. They seem to optimize, or they seem to get good feedback on.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely clearly where the show came from. All right, let's do some drinking rules. Um, Noah, what do you got for me? You got any drinking rules?
Every time a family member finds out about someone's sex life, take a drink.
Brian?
Every time you want to puke, take a drink.
Christopher.
Anytime there's like general affection, take a drink.
Mm. Anytime someone shows strong intimacy to an inanimate object, take a drink.
That does
See,
remind me on the season coming up, there's like somebody in love with a car.
Right. Yeah.
oh my god, yeah. But wait, they got to show us having sex with the car.
Yeah. That seems like you got to like really develop
Maybe
that.
we should have picked that episode. I don't know.
Or
No,
you
I'm
have
just
like
gonna pick the first one.
I'm assuming you'd have to have a very big penis to fuck your gas tank. I don't know how
I
big
assumed you would
people-
go for the tailpipe.
That's a very big penis, right? Like,
Cigarette lighter.
Tailpipe? Cigarette lighter? You could just cut a hole in the fabric, you know?
yeah, that seems a lot easier, a lot safer.
Okay, all right, all right.
Huh. Yeah.
No, what do you love about this show?
So what I like about this show and what I liked about the Facebook series, like there is, I think the Facebook series played. They catch you with the novelty, right? And like it literally is so extreme in some of these instances. And so I think there's like the shock and awe, which you don't feel great about, but it's, well, at least for me, like it catches my attention. But then they also, you do end up believing, which I have a hard time believing it's true, but you think these are real. And I think that's nice that, the people, despite what you think might be hard circumstances, they end up finding someone and seemingly have like a good life. And I think that's great.
Brian, what do you got? What do you love about this show?
I gotta love that there's okay. There doesn't seem to be like that much judgment, but like there are a lot of puns about it. I think it tries to like show it in a good light, despite like it being so unusual.
Yeah, I mean, I already want what I loved about the show is like you get a real glimpse of these people's lives instead of just like glimpse is a hard word, is not necessarily the right word, but you get to follow these people in their lives and not just like have one instant. At least for this episode, I don't know what other episodes are like, because it
Right.
seems like they had 2016 to 2018 for one of the couples,
Mhm.
and so that's what I love about. That's what I liked about the show. All right, do we have any other minutia before we get into ratings?
The minutiae. Let me see. No, I don't think I have any more minutiae. Brian?
All right. So we do our rating system. We do a stack ranking system between top, middle, bottom, third buckets. Some people stack rank in their stack ranks. Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm really torn. Like, I don't like giving into the shock and awe. Like, I don't want to encourage a lot of that. But as I mentioned, like I do think it's nice to show these sides of life and not like disrespect the people being shown, like to actually put them in a positive light. I think that's really valuable. And it's also well made. So I think for the shock and awe, like it gets way down for me, but for those other reasons, I'm putting in the middle, but bottom of the middle, because I just think there's some part of me that feels bad about liking this, and I can't really reconcile that.
Brian, what do you got for me?
I think I'm gonna put it bottom of the top. I think there's enough here that like there's not like too much terribleness. There is one terrible couple. Yes, I didn't really enjoy that. But I think the other ones, it's just gonna be a wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I struggle. I'm going to put it in the middle just because I feel like it was a little disjointed, and I think the beginning of the show was very troubling to me. And as we watched it, as I kept watching it, the more I liked it because it like kind of luxuriated in this weird relationship and not necessarily like the negativity that I immediately got from like some of these couples because it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're kind of bringing out the negativity by saying these are weird couples, this is extreme love, but then it kind of tries to normalize it throughout the whole episode, and that's kind of cool. So I'm just not all that interested in like extreme love, so I'm gonna just put it in the middle. But I could see it being a top third show. It was enjoyable. So,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna put it in the middle.
Nice.
Tell us what you thought about this show on X, formerly known as Twitter. And we'll have a poll at Who Put This On. So let us know what you thought. Now we do shout outs. So I can shout out some things. I've been rewatching Stranger Things.
Oh wow! How come?
Yeah. I had surgery this week, so I've had some time to just kind of chill. And Stranger Things is good. Like it's like I haven't watched season one since like season one came out. So like it's kind of interesting knowing what happens after season four and coming back and watching season one's been pretty cool. So yeah. Brian, got any shout outs?
checking out the new season of The Bachelor with Joey from the previous season of Bachelorette. It's still got the same like trashiness, but this season they brought on sisters. So let's see how that plays out.
Noise.
I thought you were gonna say Joey Fatone.
Oh my god, that makes it so much better. Celebrity Bachelor.
Yeah. Noah, have any shout outs?
Yeah, I think similar to last time because I'm actually just plowing through it. Good Girls, Netflix. I'm halfway done with season 4, which is the last season. I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend it necessarily. Like, I don't regret watching it, but the writing gets a little tired, and the two main characters, I feel like their dynamic doesn't evolve too much. And that becomes annoying. But that's what I've been steeped in.
Yeah, I'll shout out one last thing. I'll shout out
Shout it.
Fargo. Fargo, the show on AMC, I think.
Yeah,
It's
I've
on
heard a lot of
Hulu.
good things about that.
It's very good.
Hmm.
It's kind of like it's similar to True Detective, but not like they don't have that like weird mysticism vibe. It's just some normal people end up hanging out with the mob and crazy shit goes down, and it's kind of fun to see how it all plays out. And I'm on season 2, and it's very good. Definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I got to go around to it. I keep hearing people bring up Fargo, and it's like, it's one of those shows that seems like it's been a slow burn because it's been out for a minute, right?
They're on season 5, just came out, so that's what you've been hearing because it's
Damn.
it's on season 5.
Yeah.
So I watched season 1, and I'm on season 2.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us this week. You can find us on Twitter at Who Put This On, or X, formerly known as Twitter.
And we should give a quick shout out. Next week, we're going to be doing Love Deadline on Netflix. Watch along with us.
Yeah, season 1, episode 1. Tell us what you thought about it on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email us questions, suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.